Now, this might go one the question to a lot of people. Well, what's the difference between Bert and Rankbrain? Okay, so in 2015, Google announced the algorithm of Rankbrain, and basically what that was machine learning. Okay, so what Rankbrain did was look at whatever the current query was and found past similar queries that it could match up and see the click rates, things like that. Then it reviewed the performance of that, historically, and based on that, that's how it would send people through. So pretty straightforward machine learning. Hey, this search query, what has it been done in the past? When I served up this type of content, what was the click-through rates or what was the engagement of that? So it's pretty straightforward machine learning. That was announced in 2015, was probably in play a couple of years before that. Now, how Bert is different, as we kind of touched upon before, now Bert was actually made open source in 2018. Okay, so that's a little side note for everybody. These algorithms, they might be announcing it at the end of October 2019. There's been a lot of things going on well before the announcement. So Bert is actually been open source since about 2018. Facebook used the version. All platforms, all the popular platforms pretty much are using some type of version of Bert right now. But once again, coming a little bit back on track, Bert isn't really doing the machine learning where it's looking at past queries. It's trying to understand the context of those queries. So I'm going to read a little bit, but Bert looks at the content before and after a word to inform its understanding of the meaning and relevance of that word. So it's just not looking at past results. It's trying to understand how that term is being used and what's more relevant. And this is a critical enhancement in natural language processing as human communication is naturally layered and complex. So this is Bert trying to understand those complexities of language instead of just trying to order them and look at historical information like Rankbrain does. Now, to be perfectly clear, Bert isn't here to replace Rankbrain, okay? Google may use multiple methods, multiple algorithms, together, only a few, all of them in tandem, combination of, there's tons and tons of different algorithms out there. And there's a good article on Search Engine Land that I cite as well that's worth a little bit of a look that you can check out that goes into that a little bit. But this is not replacing Rankbrain, it's enhancing the Google algorithms. Okay, so Google can give you better results across the board. And honestly, Bert isn't really any surprise. It's really a continuation of what Google has really been working on, that people have really known that they've been working on since about 2011. So this is a process. This is a natural progression. So way back in 2014, Google spent more than 500 million to purchase the artificial intelligence company DeepMind. Now the past few years, and I cited this in our last webinar, What's Up with Google, that you can see in our YouTube channel, Google has purchased 38 AI-related businesses. Okay, and I cite a blog where I saw that. Now this is important because AI and machine learning is becoming more and more and more and more important for the algorithm. Now the challenge is with that, with optimizations, okay, because it's now understanding that Dave can look at a website and understand the context, the complexity of that communication. So it does bring a challenge, because the AI systems are getting smarter and they'll be able to answer more and more complex questions, and they'll be able to really pick up those gray areas and have meaning from them. So businesses that are providing valuable information to their audiences really need to understand what's going on here, okay? Because as the systems get smarter, they're going to be able to understand, they're going to be able to answer more complex questions. Unlike now, where a lot of the SERPs, especially on SERP results, are pretty straightforward. How old is so-and-so? What's the weather outside? Well, that's changing, and especially as voice search and really engaging using your voice with technology changes, those AIs are going to grow, they're going to learn more, and they're going to be able to answer a lot more complex situations. Like I'm almost starting to envision where you used to see on Star Trek, where they would just talk to the computer, search for this, find this, dig deeper into that. We're getting there, and it's coming about fairly quickly.